Hello everybody and welcome back to the garden. It's another lovely sunny day. Let's do the most of it and do some gardening. After all this gardening cleared up yesterday, I thought it's a good day to do some harvesting. We're gonna have some December harvest today and I definitely need to stake my purple sprouting broccolis, maybe odd bits and pieces here and there. So let's do some gardening. I was thinking after all this hard work yesterday, I need something easier today. So I think we're gonna do some December harvesting. We can probably make some nice salad and a winter soup. So we're gonna do that. Jesus! After all this hard work yesterday, doing all this hoeing and clearing of the plot, I thought it's a good idea to do some lighter work today. I can feel it in my shoulders, all the work I did yesterday. So today I think we're gonna do some harvesting. I had some leeks, carrot, beetroot and parsnip. And I think I can scrounge some salad as well. And maybe some bits and pieces. I'll see how it's gonna go. Okay, so I think first of all I need to sort out my purple sprouting broccolis, stake them and tie it somehow so they are actually upright, and that's going to give me a chance to do weeding in this area as well. Don't get me wrong, I do love sprouting broccolis, but boy oh boy, they take lots of time and space. I planted them in the spring this year and I'm expecting a harvest early spring next year, so that's a full year of growing. But well, I'm gonna be happy getting first greens in early spring or late winter when there's nothing else to eat. But yeah, they do take a lot of time. Right, so how am I gonna do that? I have some bamboo sticks. Not quite sure if they're gonna be strong enough to support these plants. Might be. I also have those hoops that I had nets to cover the purple sprouting broccolis before. Actually, I can put it on this side of the hoop. That's going to give it more stability. Right, let's try with those two first and we'll see. I'm just going to use the normal garden string, nothing fancy. I'm just hoping the bamboo is going to support the weight of this plant. It's quite large. Let's try. Well, looks like it's working. I'm also going to tie it to this hoop and the bamboo as well to give it extra stability. That will probably help with the pheasants as well. In the middle of the winter when there's not much else green, they like to eat the cabbages as well. So keeping it far off the ground might help. Okay, one done, 6 more to go. Okay, I think that should do it for now. It probably will need some reinforcing later on, but for the moment it's good enough. Now I can clear this area under the plants It's gonna look better instantly. It's not that bad here really. There's only a couple of dandelions. This area was very shaded by the plants themselves, so I can easily clean it. That's gonna reduce the spaces for the slugs and snails as well. And I'm also thinking of removing all the old and damaged leaves from the plants themselves. Look at the length of these roots. With dandelions, it's always better to dig it out. And we are getting some fighter jets again today. I don't know what's happening. Wait a moment. Okay, I think they are mostly gone. I'm also removing all the old and damaged leaves, like those ones. They are almost completely eaten by the caterpillars in the summer, only the veins left. So the plant doesn't need them anymore. It started regrowing already anyway, so it's going to produce lots of new leaves. And it's also going to reduce the weight of the plant as well. Okay, I think that looks much better. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to double stake those plants. Some of them are really top heavy. So before any winter storm arrives, I need to double stake them to protect them better, otherwise they're just gonna fly in the wind. All right, so that's another job done, quick and easy, and it looks so much neater already. Right, should we get some carrot and leeks? Okay, so this is my leek and carrot patch. If you haven't seen the video of me planting it months and months ago, I encourage you to have a look. I sowed the leeks and the carrot mixed together in a hope that it's gonna avoid the carrot root fly. And as you can see, I didn't have to thin anything. It's all growing like that all summer long. So today we can do some harvesting. I just need 2 or 3 leeks. I don't need too many. Same with the carrots. Actually, pause for the fighter jets. So slight change of plans. I wasn't planning of harvesting all the leeks today, but I've just noticed they're getting first sign of onion white rot. So I think I'm gonna harvest them all, and whatever I don't use today, it's gonna get chopped and frozen. Just clean it, chop it straight into a freezer. You don't need to do anything else. But let me show you what I mean. The leek itself looks quite nice. There's no really any damage on the inside. But I've noticed the roots are getting mushy. They're almost gone. So it's definitely onion white rot getting into them. So they're all gonna get harvested, chopped and frozen today. So let me quickly go through my leeks and then we'll see how the carrots are doing. Yeah, I think it's the same problem with all of them. The leeks are still fine, but the roots are going on all of them. I don't even need a trowel to dig them out. They're coming out quite easy, most of them. Since I didn't get any onion harvest this year, I'm gonna be using them as a substitute to my onions. In my cooking, I'm using the green beets as well, not only the white stalks, so it doesn't matter for me really if they are blanched or not. Actually, there's more flavor in the green parts of the plant. There's quite a lot of them really here. When you think about it, that might be one of the biggest of the leeks that was growing on the edge of the bed with the most amount of light. But I'm getting plenty different sizes from pencil thickness to something like that, which is not bad. Alright, so that's a huge pile of leek. That's going to be lots of cleaning and chopping, but I'm happy with that. Must be easily well over 5 kilos after cleaning. But now let's have a look at my stumpy carrots. Some of them got already dug out while I was pulling the leeks. I was expecting something more like that. That's how they usually grow, fat stumpy carrots. But I can see there's some whoppers as well. I'm not gonna dig out any more of them. I'm just gonna pick whatever is on the surface, whatever got dug out, pulled out with the leeks. I don't need that many of them today, but it's a really nice size of carrot, and I can't see any signs of carrot root fly. Let me wash that carrot and we can have a look properly. Okay, so here it is, slightly rinsed. On the first sign, I can't see any carrot root fly damage really. Maybe this bit here, not sure. But if it's there, it's minimum. So I'm gonna pick all the carrots that are on the surface of the bed. I just really need a couple of them for my stew today. Alright, that should do it, about 10. The rest of them I'm gonna dig out another day. I don't have that much time. It's gonna take ages to clean the leeks. And the carrots, after I dig them out, it's gonna be same story as with the leek. Clean it, chop it straight into a freezer. But I need more time to do that. Okay, so we have our carrots, plenty of leek. Let's have a look what else we can have. All right, let's get 1 or 2 beetroot as well. I can use it for the salad. That's a nice beetroot, not the biggest I ever grew, but it's nice. I think 1 is enough. And while we are at harvesting stage, let's have 1 or 2 parsnips. Okay, so the moment of truth. They have been growing here all year long. So hopefully they're gonna be something to eat. That's not the biggest one. It's a fat one though. Oh, this one is not bad. And a small one. And the last in this section. Well, not bad really. Let me give it a quick wash and I'll show them to you. Okay, so here we are. That's not a big size, to be honest. But we have some smaller ones and some funky ones, as always, with the parsnips. But yeah, that's not a bad harvest. That's a 1 or 2 dinners for me, really. I like to boil them or roast them and then mash it with garlic and butter. Delicious. Okay, and now the last ingredient I need for my dinner is some greens. So I think we can get some mizuna and winter radish. Let's have a look what we can get. They are not growing much bigger than a normal radish, maybe slightly bigger, but they are quite tasty and spicy. And they do grow during the winter, hopefully. The colors are lovely as well. So I think a couple of radishes like that should be enough for the salad with a handful of mizuna. The mizuna is one of my favorite vegetables nowadays. I think it's the first year I ever tried growing it. But it's really lovely, productive and delicious. I should use the scissors for that. But that should be enough as well. I think that's more than enough for one meal. As I said, it's a lovely plant, slightly peppery when you eat it. So it's gonna go very well with the radishes and grated beetroot for some earthy flavor. I'm getting handful like that every few days whenever I feel eating some healthy green. I'm halfway through the row already. Okay, I think that's not a bad harvest at all for a December. Got some parsnips, got my leeks, mizuna, radish. So even in December the garden is providing. I have my salad sorted, my mizuna, radishes and beetroot. I have my stew / soup sorted as well. I have my carrots, a couple of leeks and parsnips. I have a mountain of leeks to clean as well and freeze. But yeah, I'm happy with today's harvest. That was a nice productive day. I also clean up all these purple sprouting broccolis as well. Hopefully they're gonna stay like that now. So yeah, I think that's all for me today. I need to head to the kitchen and start cooking, and there's plenty of cleaning and freezing as well to do. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you back in the garden very soon. Bye.